So, Samir, what church are you going to these days? Well, actually Paul, I don't go to church anymore. I have ascended in my intellect by reading Richard Dawkins, the prophet of scientism. I have now attained to intellectual superiority over all you pathetic religious zealots and have cast off the chains of superstition, and I now know there is no God. So now with your vast intellect, you can now prove a universal negative, huh? Your infinite knowledge is almost godlike. I never said I had infinite knowledge. You would have to have infinite knowledge to prove a universal negative, such as the claim that there is no God. You would have to know that there was no God before the universe came into existence, and you would have to know what is outside the universe to know that God is not there. I realize that logic isn't one of an atheist's strong points, but you might want to actually think a little bit before you make universal statements without knowledge. Okay, let me rephrase it. I don't believe there is a God. I'm glad you admit that your assertions are based on faith. I don't have faith. I'm an atheist, remember? Don't fool yourself, you are a man of great faith. More faith than I have. What are you talking about? You believe that life arose on Earth by chance and natural processes. A single cell, which is the most basic life form on Earth, is the most highly complex machine in the universe. Therefore, believing that life arose from natural processes means believing that the most highly complex machine in the universe spontaneously generated. Believing that either makes you a moron or a person of extraordinary faith. There you go with the ad hominem attacks, calling me names. I apologize for calling you a moron. That was not true. A moron is an adult person having the mental age of between 8 and 12. An 8-year-old has enough intelligence to know that it is impossible for the most highly complex machine in the universe to spontaneously generate itself. I just insulted morons by calling you one. Please forgive me, it's called evolution. Ever heard of it? Even if evolution actually happens, which there is no evidence for, it has nothing to do with the origin of life. It is a faith-based theory which alleges to explain the origin of species, not of life itself. Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't worry though, we are getting closer to understanding how life arose on Earth. I marvel at your faith. I wish I had enough faith to believe that the most highly complex machine in the universe spontaneously arose from inorganic matter. Who says the cell is the most highly complex machine in the universe? Name me a machine that is more complex than the cell. I'm not aware of one. Name me just one machine that has ever been observed to spontaneously originate, by natural action, without apparent or obvious external cause or influence. There has never been a machine that has been observed to spontaneously originate, so without any observable evidence you say that life, the most highly complex machine in the universe, spontaneously originated? That's called blind faith, my foolish friend. Let me ask you a question. Let's say I take my iPhone and grind it into powder and spread it across the ocean. All the elements necessary to make my iPhone are now in the ocean. Is it possible for all those elements to be spontaneously arranged into a functioning iPhone and to wash up on shore, even if we gave it a quintillion years? No, that's not possible. Only an idiot would believe such a thing, which is more complex, an iPhone, or a single-celled organism. A single-celled organism, by far, so you know that it is impossible for an iPhone to spontaneously originate, but you believe that a single-celled organism, which is far more complex, did so, without one shred of empirical observation or proof. Yes, it has to be the case because there is no God. Well, who can argue with that? Spoken like a true religious zealot being driven by blind faith. God has given you all the evidence you need to believe that He exists if you will but open your eyes and look around. The Bible says in Romans 1:19 and 20, because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of Him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even His eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. The Bible says in Psalm 19:1 that the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament showeth His handiwork. Open your eyes, observe the intricate and complex world around you, and then think a little bit and you will not look like a fool who says that there is no God, all the while pretending to be an intellectual.